All right, guys, how's it going? Now, listen, there hasn't been a lot to talk about today, I think, and I'm not one for making videos just for the sake of making them and annoying you and stuff. But something's come up which I think we need to talk about. Now, I've tried recording this video for you once already. I got 13 minutes into it and scrapped it because I feel like I made a mess of it. So I'm trying it again. So where to start? Right, this is going to be a long video. If you're one of those people that just come here to knock one out over transfer news or rumours, you're on the wrong channel, all right? So this is for the stayers, this is for the men and the women. So basically, Jose Félix Díaz is a journalist that writes about Real Madrid, okay? He is the closest journalist to Real Madrid, in my opinion, like Paul Joyce is with Liverpool. And when Jose Félix Díaz starts talking about Real Madrid and Liverpool, I listen. He was exceptionally accurate with the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation over the last year. I spoke to him during that as well, which is always nice, you know, to make new sort of, like, I don't want to say friends, but, you know, new acquaintances, new contacts or whatever, because you can exchange bits of info and, you know, this is what I think, what do you think, that kind of thing. I know that Jose Félix Díaz doesn't publish everything in his articles, just like Paul Joyce doesn't, right? So it's always good to get in someone's head and listen to them and what they think, right? And I think, and I said this in my last video, which I'm going to try and remember everything, he's published an article, and I think he's alluding to stuff in this article, but this is going to be all over the place with this video because there's a lot of stuff to take in here. So where to start? Right, this is what we'll do. For those of you that have got a short attention span, I'm going to tell you what's in the article, right? The bullet points regarding Ibrahima, Konaté and Real Madrid. And then I'm going to try and remember what the latest state of play is, what we've claimed about Konaté and talks that his representatives are having with Liverpool. This is going to be a difficult video to do, so please bear with me. So he's published this article today in Marca, well, on the website, so it will be in the print edition tomorrow, I suspect. Liverpool act out of fear of losing Konaté. Madrid will leave a squad place open, basically, so that they you know, can add him to the squad, right? Which is a big thing, I think. Bullet points. I'm going to give you the bullet points, and then we'll go a bit deeper into this. Liverpool fear a repeat of the Trent situation where a key player runs down his contract and joins Real Madrid for free. Konaté's contract expires 30th of June next year. Liverpool are pushing hard to get him to sign an extension. The club plans to make a new renewal offer in the coming days. This is important because I posted on the members website yesterday, I think, that talks are due to be held tomorrow, Thursday, between Konaté's agent and Liverpool. That ties in. So Jose is saying the club plans to make a new renewal offer in the coming days. I did a mail stand video on here yesterday, I think, telling you, or, you know, basically the author was claiming about the Konaté talks tomorrow, so it does tie in. If Konaté rejects it again, Liverpool could put him on the transfer market immediately before the window closes. Liverpool believe there has already been contact between Konaté and Real Madrid and possibly a pre-agreement. I think that's interesting because I actually think Jose Félix Díaz would know if there was a pre-agreement, but he's saying possibly. So I'm wondering if he knows something there and he hasn't put that into print. Klopp's replacement, Slot only has two fit centre-backs at the moment, Konaté and Van Dijk, making his potential exit a major risk. Liverpool's defensive transfer activity, Gueye, Leone, is partly due to doubts over Konaté's future, not just injury cover. And I was thinking about that today. You know, I went to the cafe, reviewed the papers this morning for you, the Spanish football dailies. And I was thinking to myself, nothing again about Konaté in the papers. We're signing two centre-backs. Would Liverpool really do that if they thought Konaté was extending? Real Madrid are keeping a squad place open in case they move for Konaté this summer, using the Mastantuono registration trick to avoid freeing a spot by selling someone. Now, so that's the bullet points. Now, a couple of things I want to mention to you. I've been talking about this almost every day, pointing this out to people. One moment, please. It's been 15 days since any of the Spanish football dailies published an article about Konaté to Real Madrid. 15 days. And the reason that this is important, why I've been mentioning this to you, is one of the Real Madrid journalists, not Jose, recently said Florentino Perez wants to flood the media, the Madrid-based media, the Madrid publications, with Konaté to Real Madrid on a free next year. Why would he want to do that? Right? To put pressure on Liverpool. We're going to sign him on a free next year, so you might as well sell him to us this summer. The problem being, Liverpool would sell him to them, but they wanted 50 million euros, whereas Real Madrid was saying, we'll offer you 20. So we'll keep reminding them they're going to lose him for free. Liverpool haven't buckled as yet. And then it went quiet. So why did that, let's get that message out there all the time, the propaganda out. Why did it suddenly stop? It stopped 15 days ago. Tomorrow it will restart because he's going to be in the paper tomorrow, I suspect. Around 11, 12 days ago, I was told, and I told you on here, that Konaté's agent was due for a sit-down with Liverpool Football Club over his contract. We didn't hear anything from that. Then, in the last few days, I was told it sounded a bit positive. Then, I was told that there are new talks due tomorrow. But I also received an email today, which I cannot read to you, unfortunately. Let me find it. This would have gone in my mail stand feature. But the author of the email, this came in at 5:10 p.m. today, UK time, and it said, please keep this on the QT. Please don't let this out as it's confidential. And basically the author of this email, I'm not going to let any specifics out, but the author of this email put over a more negative thing. And yesterday, in the last few days, this person was saying, I'm starting to think he's going to stay, Dunk. But today sent me an email saying, I can't tell you what it says, but basically negative, like, oh, something's not right here. And then within no time of receiving that, Jose Félix Díaz pops up today with the suggestions that Konaté to Real Madrid could still be on. Real Madrid are not going to leave a squad place open if they think on a gamble. I don't believe that. So this has changed things quite a bit for me. What I'm going to do now is go over the article in full. I haven't got Dave to analyse it, my AI assistant that I've been training to study football news articles, the journalists that write them and the platforms that publish them, because I don't need his analysis on this. But I'm going to go over it myself with you. So to be honest with you, I think you've heard what you need to hear in this video. So in summary, if you want to log off, Real Madrid obviously feel they can still get Konaté. Liverpool are still pushing to try and get him to renew, but they are chasing two centre-backs, which I think are both going to come in. Talks tomorrow. In this article, this journalist, who I think you should listen to, basically says Liverpool are going to offer him a new deal in the coming days, and I think that's going to be tomorrow. I hope I've explained it well enough to you. If I haven't, please ask in the comment section, and I promise you I'll go over it as best as I can. Bearing in mind, I've recorded this video once already, so I can't remember what I've said. Right, I'm going to go over the full article now, so those of you that are still interested. Liverpool act out of fear of losing Konaté. Madrid will leave a squad place open. It goes on to say that basically Liverpool fear a repeat of the Trent situation. We've proved to be one of the major movers in the market this summer. No one can deny that. Once again, looking at the market, this time for central defenders to avoid last-minute problems related to Konaté's future. Close to sealing deals for Gueye and Leone. It talks about injured centre-backs, but the move around those two young defenders has a lot to do with the more than reasonable doubts about the French international's future. Then there's a sub-headline, the possible renewal of Konaté. Liverpool's management do not want a repeat of the Alexander-Arnold case and are applying pressure in every possible way for Konaté to renew his contract, all with the aim of preventing him from leaving the club for free or for very little, as happened with Trent. As Marca has learned, the English club intends to offer the Frenchman a new contract again in the coming days. Remember my video yesterday? My post on the members website talks on Thursday this week. If the player refuses again, the situation would change radically and the possibility of Konaté being placed on the market would be more than real. At Anfield, they believe that contact between Real Madrid and the Frenchman has taken place and that an agreement may already exist. So Liverpool feel there could be an agreement there already. Jose is not committing to that in his article, which I think is interesting. Maybe he doesn't know. But I would be surprised if he didn't. That'd be like saying Joyce doesn't know what's going on at Liverpool. So, hence the repeated attempts to renew a contract that ends in June next year. The goal is to ensure he does not leave the English club and join Real Madrid on a free. Xabi Alonso's team is going to leave a squad place open for now in the first team, in case something happens in what remains of the market. Mastantuono could, for now, have a Castilla registration, as Vinicius and Rodrigo once did, thus leaving a free spot in the first team without having to part ways with any player. So Castilla registration is the reserves. And then I've got my bullet points, which we've gone over. So I mean, you probably watch this video and going, I'm confident, I don't really know what's happening, but I don't know what's happening, and I think the journalist is making it out there that he doesn't know what's happening. But if we stick to the facts of the situation, Perez, amplify the message, we're going to get him for free next year, all right? Bring the feed down, because we're going to get him for free. Every other fucking day that was happening in the press. Then 15 days radio silence around the time Konaté sat down with them again. And it went quiet. Right? It went quiet. Was that because they know he's going to renew with Liverpool? It doesn't sound like it in that article, does it? Or was it because they knew they didn't have to put pressure on Liverpool because they know that they've got a pledge from the player? But it went quiet. Then, the latest claims, this is important, I don't think I've mentioned it in this video. Then the latest claims, the talks tomorrow, and Jose Félix Díaz there saying there is going to be a new contract offered to him in the coming days. Real Madrid leaving a squad place open for him. They're not going to do that if they know that he's committed to Liverpool. So, I have another YouTube channel, right, called Golazo España. I haven't updated it for a while. There's too much Liverpool stuff. Golazo España is just a side interest for me because I read the Spanish papers every day, and I started thinking maybe people would be interested in it. If you want to search it on YouTube, I think it'll be in the video description, but it's Golazo España, Golazo Espana. And that's the same username on X. And this is what I put out a couple of days ago. It's right, and this is why it's important. About a week ago, 5, 6, 7 days ago, there were reports coming out of Madrid saying Real Madrid's transfer business has concluded for this summer unless something happens, all right? So again, I read into that and I thought, they're not saying anything about Konaté. Transfer business is concluded. They've given up. Right? So they'd finished. They were not interested. Then, a couple of nights back, Jose Félix Díaz very cryptically said Real Madrid about to, do something. Not words to that. Well, not exact words, but words to that effect. Real Madrid could possibly about to enter the market again. Right? So I didn't know that could be about Konaté, and maybe it isn't. But it wasn't strong enough for me to say, they're going to go for Konaté, because I don't know. So on the Golazo España account, which is here, look, you can see I put something out on here. And it says as follows: it sounds like Real Madrid are about to do something, despite claims that their summer activities were finished. Marca and AS could shed more light tomorrow, which they didn't, but I think they're going to tomorrow. There was no suggestion that it was anything to do with Liverpool, but it's all very interesting that he said that, and now he's published this article saying, it's an interesting week for Konaté, Liverpool and Real Madrid. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Have I covered everything? I'm sorry if it's all over the fucking place, but there's just so many different things to try and get across to you in this. There really is. So, 15 days, no mention of Konaté and Real Madrid. Today's the day that's being broken. Tomorrow I expect to see stuff in the print edition. I'll review them and everything in the morning as usual. So where are you with this now? Where are you with this now? You know, people that interact with me have been saying, oh, I've got a feeling he'll extend. But these are not, you know, people that are connected to the club, really. These are just people thinking he might because it's gone quiet. But the author of that email, sorry, I've had some emails, you know, about Konaté. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in the video. I'm sure I have. But if you look at the mail stand on my channel, right, the feature where I read out emails I receive, some of them are about Konaté. And the author of the email, of one of those emails, was positive. I think it even said Konaté will stay. That same very author of that email is the one that's emailed me today saying, don't read this out, but something negative basically about it all. So he's changed his tune very quickly. Now, if you've come to the end of this video and you're none the fucking wiser as to what's going on, do you know why that is? Because we don't make shit up around here. Because what we're doing here is telling you all the facts, all the claims, looking for what's being said, rather than coming on here and pretending you that we all know what's fucking going on. Do you know what I mean? So if it's not exciting enough for you, I do apologise. You're probably on the wrong channel. We'll deal with the facts. And I think the next few days are going to be interesting. I do. So I think tomorrow we'll see the print version of that article, and then we'll see that regurgitated and cited by everyone. So you can expect to see Konaté stuff this week as the week progresses, because it has been very quiet, as you know, because there's these scheduled talks tomorrow taking place. I think you may also see something from that. That's a big claim there. And I just want to end this video by saying that that's not just some random fucking blogger or Twitter twat or journalist. Jose Félix Díaz saying all that is like Joyce writing about Liverpool. And my feeling is, in that article, he knows more than he's letting on. I could message him, but I'm not really sure that... I don't know if he would. Yeah, fuck it. Maybe I'll do that. If you don't ask, you don't get, do you? But I need to be careful as well, because if I suddenly do a video tomorrow going, by the way, I've been told this, it's going to be obvious where it's come from. So I'll leave it a bit. Anyway, I wanted to bring it to your attention. That's it. All right. Like I say, I tried recording this video previously, scrapped it. So I'm sorry if I've duplicated anything or whatnot. It's not as easy as it looks, just sitting here talking shite, trust me. Okay, I'm going to leave it with you. Staying with Real Madrid, I think I'm going to update you a new episode of Traitor Trent, which is coming up now. I might as well do that while I'm here. And we'll speak soon, guys, all right? So I did do a morning briefing today on my other YouTube channel, if you want to go and watch it, okay? Not that it's very exciting. Okay, if you found this video remotely interesting, please would you thumbs up the video? Please would you drop me a comment? If you could just give me some feedback to see. I just want to know if I've explained it to you or not, or whether you understood it. Obviously, I get some toilet heads on my videos, you know, that are new, that I'm not interested in what they think. But you guys that are around here usually, I just want to know if you've picked enough out of this, if it made sense, or whether I've made a car crash of it. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, there's a love out under the video that's called a super thanks. I always give a shout out to everyone that does that in my morning briefings the following morning. I was in the cafe this morning at 7 AM, I think, checking those papers. I'll be there tomorrow at 7 AM, well, all being well, 6 AM UK tomorrow morning. So look out for, if you're on X, at Cop Talk, Facebook at Cop Talk, obviously the members website. All of those things get updated first when I'm in the cafe in the morning if I see anything. But I'll touch base with you tomorrow about this. I suspect tomorrow I'll just be saying, oh look, the article is there in print now, because the online versions can vary somewhat from the print versions, and they can also be edited as well later in the evening. Do you guys get the impression he knows a little bit more there? I do. but maybe you haven't, you know, studied enough of his articles to be able to notice how he reports, you know. Interesting. What did I say to you? Something's going to fucking come out about it all. It's too quiet. Something's gone off behind the scenes. I've been saying that every day for 2 weeks. So here I am, DKB. I'll take it. Not that I know what's fucking going on, like. But there you go. All right. Cheers, guys. Speak to you a bit.